Hello and welcome to another episode of Disney Movie Investigation. If this is your first time watching, welcome to the show. In each episode, we take a look at a movie that is featured on Disney+. On this episode, we are taking a look at a cult favorite as we take a look at Tron Legacy, starring Jeff Bridges and Olivia Wilde. And if you are enjoying these videos, I do ask that you please hit that subscribe button. That way you'll be notified with each new episode. Now, sit back and enjoy this episode of Disney Movie Investigation. So like I said, today we're covering Tron Legacy. This movie was released on November 30th, 2010, and it was directed by Joseph Kosinski. The story was a collaboration between Edward Kitsis, Adam Horowitz, Brian Klugman, and Lee Sternthal. The production companies were Walt Disney Studios and Sean Bailey Productions, with the film being distributed by Walt Disney Studios. The budget for this movie was $170 million, with a box office return of $400 million. But let's take a look at the development. After the original Tron created a cult following, rumors began of a Tron sequel in 1999, and the head studio leading to develop it was Pixar. In 2003, rumors again of a sequel resurfaced after the first-person shooter Tron 2.0 video game. Producer Sean Bailey would hire the writing team of Adam Horowitz and Edward Kitsis, who said they used the influences from the original Wizard of Oz and that there would be lots of light cycles. Plans started to materialize in 2005 when writer Brian Klugman and Lee Sternthal were brought in to touch up the script. In 2007, Joseph Kosinski was in talks to direct if a Tron sequel were to be further developed. In 2008, at the San Diego Comic-Con, a clip of test footage was revealed to show guests that a Tron sequel was being developed. The following year, Disney would reveal the film's title again at San Diego Comic-Con. So filming for this movie occurred in Vancouver, BC, and it lasted for 67 days. Kosinski said his goal was to make Tron Legacy feel free and expand the environment. Crowd effects for the gaming arena were actually filmed at the 2010 San Diego Comic-Con International, and Daft Punk was hired to compose the score for the movie. So let's take a look at the cast. So we have Jared Hedlund, who plays Sam Flynn. Jeff Bridges reprises his role as Kevin Flynn. Olivia Wilde joins the cast as Cora. Michael Sheen plays Zeus and Castor, and James Fralin plays Jarvis. So now that we know the players, let's take a look at the plot. So Sam Flynn is the tech-savvy 27-year-old son of Kevin Flynn and looks into his father's disappearance and finds himself pulled into the same world of fierce programs and gladiator games where his father has been living for 20 years. Along with Kevin's loyal confidant Cora, father and son embark on a life-and-death journey across a visually stunning cyber universe that has become more advanced and exceedingly dangerous than the original Tron. Meanwhile, the malevolent program Clue, who dominates the digital world, plans to invade the real world and stop at nothing to prevent their escape. So this movie had an interesting marketing campaign. On July 21st of 2009, several film personalities had received a pair of Flynn arcade tokens along with a flash drive. It contained animated GIFs that contained access codes that would lead to FlynnLives.com. This was a fictional site that showed that Flynn was alive. Clicking on the spider icon on the lower corner would lead users to a countdown clock to July 23rd, 2009, which was when the film title was revealed. Disney also partnered with Coke Zero and Norloco, and Marvel Comics would also create artwork with the superheroes in Tron gear. Nokia also had trailers for the film preloaded on their Nokia N8 phones. And so in terms of legacy, this had several legacies in the Disney theme parks. So the Tron Light Cycle Power Run was added to Shanghai Disneyland in 2016, and Walt Disney World in Florida would get a same version of the ride in 2022. In March of 2010, the monorail was decorated to become the Tronorail, And in Disney's California, Electronica debuted on October 8th, 2010 as an electronic dance party with a live DJ. The attraction was set to close in May of 2011, but due to popularity was extended to April of 2012, where it was eventually replaced by the Mad Hatter's Tea Party. As well as a Tron section was added to California Adventure's World of Color nighttime program. In Juxtaver, Sweden, a ice hotel had a Tron-inspired suite, and the suite used electroluminescent lights, electroluminescent wire to create geometric forms throughout the suite. In terms of merchandise, electronic and toy lines were released during the late 2010, and Tron-inspired jewelry, shoes, and apparel were also released in a pop-up store in Culver City. Tron-branded gaming consoles were also released for the Xbox 360, PlayStation 3, and the Wii. Tron Evolution was released as a tie-in video game on March 25th of 2010, and the story of the game bridges the gaps between Tron and Tron Legacy. Tron Legacy's The Grid was also added to Kingdom Hearts 3D Dream Drop Distance and Kingdom Hearts HD 2.8 Final Character Prologue. And finally, in terms of video games, Tron Legacy was also adapted as a pinball machine in 2011. In terms of recognition, the film actually received an Academy Award nomination for Best Sound Editing. And then to further on the legacy of Tron, on June 7th, 2012, an animated TV series called Tron Uprising premiered on Disney XD. This series follows what happens between the two films, and both Bruce Boxleitner and Olivia Wilde reprise their roles alongside new cast members Elijah Wood, Mandy Moore, and Paul Rubens. And finally, in June of 2020, Disney confirmed that a Tron 3 is in development. There is a script, but they are looking for a director. So would I recommend this movie? I like this movie as I thought it was a great follow-up to the original Tron. It had great special effects, and it really expanded the world and made it seem more believable. One of the great things that I love about Disney is Disney is able to create these worlds, and with Tron Legacy, it created the cyberspace world that you kind of get lost into. I like the stories that seem to fit naturally with the original movie and picks up right where it left off. I also like the performance of Jeff Daniels, as he was able to create a emotional arc for the story, and it's kind of right up in his wheelhouse, these type of roles. So my only criticism is that there are some story elements that seem to be set up for Tron 3, which now we're going on like 9 or nearly 10 years, or over 10 years, like 12 years now, and I would like to have it fleshed out more. An example of this is the appearance of Cillian Murphy as the rival computer programmer. That was a unique cameo, but it absolutely goes nowhere. So yeah, overall, I do recommend a movie, but that's my only criticism. So thank you for joining us so much on this episode of Disney Movie Investigation. I would like anyone to please leave a comment on what they think of Tron Legacy, and any ideas what they would like to see in the sequel Tron 3. So as we look forward to our next episode, we will be looking into the world of space travel as we take a look at Ed Astria starring Brad Pitt. So until next time, I hope you have a magical day, and we will see you real soon.